Welcome to Stevie's Kitchen. Tonight, I'm gonna show you how to make curry cauliflower rice and shredded beef. You're not gonna wanna miss this meal prep this week. So right now, we're gonna get this apple peeled and we're gonna get an onion chop. We're gonna saute those with some curry powder and some turmeric to develop a little bit of flavor for our cauliflower rice. Earlier today, I actually went ahead and got my chuck roast seared on all sides, dropped it in my crock pot and put it in with some beef broth and let that go on low for 7 hours. So by the time all this is done, the crock pot should be done, and then we'll be able to shred the beef and go from there. But while that's going, let's get this going. So if you're wondering what apple, is there a particular apple that is needed to be used, I will say no. Right now I have a pink lady, and that's because they were on sale. But I use all different type of apples. It just adds a little sweetness about it that you just can't substitute with something else. And this has to be no uniformity to this chop because we're gonna throw it in the food processor when it's done anyways. So just some nice rough chops is all you need. No, you don't need lemon juice either to squeeze it over top for browning. We're gonna turn it yellow and orange anyways. And now we're gonna take half an onion, quick little rough chop. Now that we got this little rough chop, we're just gonna get a small saucepan. Like I said, we're just gonna throw these apples and onions in here. And then we're gonna add in a little bit of salt to help them sweat. And then we're gonna add in about a teaspoon of curry powder. And then we're gonna add in another teaspoon of turmeric. And so we're just gonna stir this together for about 2 to 3 minutes, kind of let the onions and apples kind of saute slightly. Pick up the color of the curry and the turmeric. It's been a couple minutes now, so now we're gonna take our oil and pour it over top of this. About half a cup. We're not trying to fry this necessarily. We're just trying to steep it, this apple and onions, to get the flavor of it. It's kind of like the equivalent of being in the meeting room and just absorbing the knowledge from the older players while you're in there. You're not the star, you're just you're learning. That's what this oil is doing in here. It's learning the stars of the dish, the curry powder and the turmeric, the apples and the onion. We're gonna let this steep for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna strain it, and then we're gonna puree the apple and the onion. Now that this has been sauteed and all together, we're gonna strain it now. So you got that nice golden color for your oil. And I will say, wash this stuff immediately so your spatula and your pot don't turn yellow. Turmeric and curry powder will stain. So now that we got all this strained, I have my food processor right here. It's going straight into the food processor. And we're just going to get a quick pulse on this. Now let's build this dish. Now this next part is very simple. I went ahead and got frozen already rice cauliflower. If you want to, you can buy a regular head of cauliflower. Or just chop off the florets and put it in a food processor and just get a quick pulse, and it'll come out to the same thing. I just wanted to save a little time. So now I'm just gonna put a little bit of my curried vinaigrette oil down into the bottom of the pan. I got 2 bags of rice cauliflower that I'm gonna throw into the mixture. And then that pureed apple and onion mixture, I'm just gonna take out a nice little scoop, probably about 1/3 of a cup, that I'm now gonna add into this. I'm just gonna let all this saute down and sweat together, get some of the flavors. And then here in about 2 minutes, I'm gonna add the rest of this curried vinaigrette oil to it. So now that we got it cooked down a little bit and incorporated, we're gonna take some of our curry vinaigrette oil. We're just gonna pour it over the top, get all of it in, and then we'll just Sit here and stir all this together. Let it cook for another 2 minutes. Then once it finishes cooking, these 2 minutes are up, we're gonna add in our golden raisins and our almond slivers for texture. So we're gonna do a cup of almond slivers. And a cup of golden raisins. If you only have regular raisins, that works too. Golden just look better in this dish. The beauty about this dish is you can serve this dish hot or cold. It doesn't matter. If you want to warm it up, it's good that way. If you leave it in the refrigerator and just want to pull it straight out, it's good that way as well. Now it's time to shred this chuck roast. Just go ahead and, that's always a good sign when the bone pulls clean. So now I got my 2 forks. I'm just gonna go here and just slowly shred this beef. This is a little hot right now, so it's not shredding as easy as I want it to. So if you let it cool down a little bit, these muscle fibers and meat will relax a little bit. So I got a little bit slightly bigger chunks, which is completely fine with me. If I wanted to make like tacos or something like that, I would shred them down. But since I'm just kind of eating the beef as is, I don't mind a little bit thicker cuts or thicker shreds of beef. But I am making sure I go through here. Any of the parts that had a little bit of the extra fat or muscle fibers, I'm making sure those come out because that's just not fun to eat. All right, let's get this plated. It's gonna take our cauliflower rice. Start off, each one gets 2 scoops. One thing that you'll always notice, I'm sure you'll notice by now whenever I do my plating, it's never precise macros, it's never precise anything like that. For one, 'cause I'm an athlete. Like I always made sure what I ate was healthy to perform, but I was never competing in any bodybuilding competitions. And that's still how I eat to this day. I just make sure I have the necessities. I eat right, eat healthy, and call it a day. Now that we have the rice down, I'm just gonna do the same thing and start adding our shredded beef. And there we go, we have it all plated. All right, let's get in here and try this for you. Make sure I get a little bit of those almonds, golden raisin, and a little bit of beef. Tender beef, get that little sweet pop with those raisins in there. You don't want to miss this one. Stay tuned.